Hold on, you can't just run it. Okay, hold on.
Just like cannot worry what other people are thinking about you.
You may lose your path, though you may get woo. Are you a firefighter? Wow! You can dance, you can shine, happy. Well, hello again, everybody. This is going to be segment 3 of my first day in the life video. I guess since I am a little bit new at this, I over-recorded my day and I ended up with, probably somewhere around 130 videos. And right now I am unpacking groceries and trying to get off to the library with Camden for story time. So this is me making room in my fridge and trying to get ready. Yes, this is sped up a little bit. I don't actually move this fast, but sometimes it's pretty close. And I'm packing up some peanut butter balls for him, my protein balls, which you can find on my channel. They're really delicious and they're really great for on-the-go lunches. And here I am talking to you guys about something and I don't know what I'm saying, but it's not really important because I'm just trying to get back in the car and take Camden to story time. So stick around. Let's see what happens today. It's time to go to story time. I forgot you're not wearing any shoes. All right, we can see the fire truck anyway. Okay, come on. Come on, you're not wearing any shoes. This is so embarrassing. All right. I know, but you're not wearing any shoes. Hold on. Hold on. You can't just run it. Okay, hold on. Okay. I totally forgot to put shoes on you. This is so embarrassing. You see the fire truck? Is that so cool? Look how cool that looks, Cammy. You got a fire helmet. Are you a firefighter?
No.
That was so nice. He gave you a special bag full of goodies just for stopping by and saying hi to the trucks. Isn't that so cool? All right, let's go to story time.
Okay, this is just so embarrassing. I forgot to put shoes on him before we went to Publix because I'm like filming and I'm trying to do a million things at once. And I'm like, oh, it's fine. It's just Publix. He's going from the car to the cart and everything. And then I went straight from Publix after dropping off the groceries to story time and I still forgot to put his shoes on. Now I have an almost 3-year-old walking around with no shoes. This is so embarrassing. It's like, do I go home? No, you don't go home. You just cannot worry what other people are thinking about you. You guys can think anything you want about me and my kid with no shoes. We're gonna go to story time and we're gonna enjoy it.
I'm gonna go ahead and talk over this time because I'm afraid that if I let that song play too loudly, I'm going to get a copyright claim and those are not fun at all. So here we are at story time singing Touch Your Fingers to Your Nose Like a Spider on a Rose. And we have been singing that song since way before Camden was born because we've actually been attending this story time off and on depending on where we were living at the time since my oldest 9.5-year-old was a baby. So we are so thankful for this time together with Miss Jessica, the best story time lady ever. Also, Camden was so patient during this time. He got the color blue crayon and that was the last color called.
Not yours.
Hey, listen. Is that the color of the sky? Yes! Great job, hey babe. Good job.
I did!
You did it. So here we are back at the house coming from one story time to another. This is our own little pre-nap routine where we grab a few of Camden's favorite books and we spend a few minutes reading stories together on the couch in the loft upstairs. And he loves this book. It's an Elmo book where you find letters and different objects on the pages, and there are so many things to find that you can kind of do something different every day. And this is just a special time together where I can definitely check off the box of I did some quality time, some educational time with Camden. Oh, I could tell you so many days where I am so tempted to skip it. And you know what? Honestly, there are some days where I do because I'm just too exhausted. But I really try to make an effort, even when I'm not in the mood or I'm just too exhausted, just to sit down with him, grab a few books, and know that we spent this time together.
Baby tongue. us. Look.
Oh
Oh no, she's teasing. That's not nice. Look, baby tongue. She's gonna do it.
no.
Okay, it's time for happy now.
No.
Come on, come on, come on, come on. It's time for happy now. I know.
I can't.
I know, I can't either. Do not come out of that bed.
I can't.
It is 1 p.m. I just put Cannon down for a nap. Hopefully he'll sleep for 2 hours. I shouldn't say that because if I say it out loud, it's gonna be like 45 minutes. But anyway, this is my first moment of the day where I don't have somebody around me. Not even like when I was going to the bathroom. So this is my first moment of the day where I'm like, so I'm going to have some lunch. And what I do on Fridays and some days during the week also, okay, so here's the thing about me. It's like I love dessert so much that I usually like have to fit it into my day somehow. So on Friday nights, Andrew and I, the kids watch a movie upstairs and we do ice cream for them in the little loft area. And then Andrew and I sit and watch a movie on the couch and we just do big piles of frozen yogurt. At big piles, like big bowls of frozen yogurt. It's just like our Friday night, relaxing indoor date night, and not indoor date night. Why can't I talk? I'm gonna have like a big lunch and then I'm gonna skip dinner. And that's usually my time to just kind of like sit with the kids. When I do that, when I skip dinner, I will hang with the family and like do all the things that moms do when they can't really eat anyway and they eat their food cold because they're like cutting up things or getting more milk or just serving and cleaning up spills that are happening during dinner and all of that stuff. So I can focus on that without being frustrated that I don't get to eat. So I am going to just enjoy my alone time right now. I'm going to eat some leftover pizza from last night. I'm just gonna heat it up in the toaster oven. That's gonna be like my lunch dinner. Then as quickly as we can, we're gonna feed the kids dinner tonight and get them upstairs, and then Andrew and I can have our little time together and with our ice cream. I don't know why this is interesting. Believe me, I wish I could eat this whole pile of pizza, but I'm gonna save some for Andrew. Yeah, just 5. I was hoping there were 6 because I wanna eat 3. We'll each have 2.5 because I'm really hungry. So I'm gonna have 2.5 slices toast in the toaster oven. This is my sheet pan leftover chicken parmesan. It's my leftover sheet pan pizza from my leftover chicken parmesan that I made. So it's leftovers on top of leftovers, and I don't mind one bit because it's delicious and it's free because I didn't have to purchase a new meal for today. And I want to tell you one quick thing. We got home from story time in the library and I made a new friend. Her name's Darlene. Hi Darlene, if you're watching. She was really sweet. And it just reminded me of something. We are always surrounded by people and we just kind of assume that they're just doing their thing while we do ours. And sometimes we can get into our own lanes too much and not reach out and introduce ourselves and everything. But I was really glad that we took, Darlene and I took the elevator together because I've been going to that story time for so many years that I just kind of assumed that everybody else there has been doing it on and off as well. And in the elevator ride, I discovered that she was brand new to the area. It was her first time at story time. And so we introduced ourselves and we ended up chatting after story time for quite a while. And she's just a really nice person. And she just really doesn't have a lot of friends in the area. She's got a toddler boy who's adorable. And she was just kind of asking like what else there is to do for moms and everything. And I just remember that stage. And I wanted to talk about that in a tea and talk one day. So we'll get to that. But I was really reminded today of how important that is, especially she found out she was pregnant like days before lockdown in her state. She came from a state that was like totally locked down during COVID. So she had to spend her entire pregnancy isolated. And then of course, probably part of her, postpartum life. And, there's a lot of loneliness out there in motherhood alone. And then if you had COVID on top of that and moms that had to have their first babies or have their first pregnancies kind of isolated, that's just very, very tough. And we need to be more aware of the people around us that just need a smiling face or hey, let's exchange phone numbers and I'll give you like the list of all the things that I do to survive the week with my toddler and all my kids. And if you wanna jump in and do any of them, come on in. So
I was really happy to make that connection today. I remember feeling like that in my, not just new mom stage, I remember feeling that even after my third, I felt a little isolated because we had moved to like kind of a different area. Anyway, so reach out to that person. Don't just assume they have a bunch of friends. Don't just assume that it's their 100th time at story time. Just say hi and introduce yourself. Make a friend and, you know, make a connection. I have a bunch of things that I have to do. I told you about my to-do list earlier. I have to do some work on Christmas. It's only September, but I have to do some work on Christmas for church, for the kids course, for the worship team. I have to do, I wrote a couple other things down. Oh shoot, I gotta make bread. Oh, I wanted to have my bread rising by now. Okay, I gotta go. While this is heating up in the toaster oven, I'm gonna make bread. Do I wanna film that?
So ever since I started making homemade bread, I have not bought bread at the store. And this has been about 6 months. And I have bought hot dog buns because ain't nobody got time to make hot dog buns. The whole point of having hot dogs is it's convenient and fast, so I'm not gonna make hot dog buns, at least not while I have 4 very young children in the house. So I do make sandwich bread, and I've actually found that I don't have to make it as often as you would think as a family of 6 because my kids are so obsessed with the protein balls that they have them every single day for lunch at school. So the bread that I make is really more for breakfast, or sometimes on a weekend lunch if I do toast with peanut butter and honey or something like that. So I only have to make bread probably about twice a week. This recipe makes 2 loaves, and I will put the video up in the corner for you. This is my oatmeal bread, and it's very simple. You can see that I do not use a standing mixer because I do not own one because I cannot afford one right now. One day I hope to get a standing mixer and my life will be a little bit easier, but for now I'm just using my little $20 electric mixer that comes with the dough hooks, and we are making do with that so far. Homemade bread might seem a little bit intimidating at first, and it was for me. Even though I've been cooking for decades, homemade bread was not something that I got into until just recently, and once I started, I could not stop because, first of all, it is so much easier and more forgiving than you would think. Yes, sometimes it doesn't come out perfect, but the thing about bread is even when it doesn't come out perfect, it comes out amazing. It's bread. It tastes delicious. Toast it up, put some butter on it. It is perfect. And the other thing is, I totally forgot what I was going to say. Okay, I remember now. All I was going to say was that homemade bread is so delicious. It's so much better than store-bought bread, and it's actually cheaper if you make it yourself. But really, guys, it is so delicious and so much easier than you think. Now, disclaimer, if you are a full-time working mom or you just are in over your head with all the things you have going on in your life and you're just not able to start making homemade bread, do not feel any less than somebody else who's making it. I'm 39 years old, I just recently started, and I went to culinary school in my early 20s. So if anybody should have been making bread for a lot longer than I have been, it's me. Don't feel guilty if you're not able to start right now, but when you are able, check out my bread videos and I will help you get started, and then you will not regret it.
Okay, I decided after all that you're gonna come along with me on just a couple of things. My gala practice, we're doing a song from Into the Woods. That's the theme of the gala. I've actually never seen the show. Not a huge fan of the music, but it's interesting. We do a whole variety of numbers from musicals and original songs. It's really cool. But this song is extremely challenging and it goes really fast. And you're gonna hear me sound ridiculous when I practice this. Again, I can't play the music for you because copyright, but you'll hear me sing my part while I'm listening to it and you're gonna laugh. It's gonna be so silly. And even though this is an alto part, it goes really, really high, and I don't really sing high, so here we go. Though it's fearful, though it's deep, though it's dark, and though you may lose your path, though you may encounter woe, dwells there. So into the woods you go again, you have to every now and then. Into the woods, no telling when, be ready for the journey. Light is dim, but now there's you, me, her, and him. It's so high. And happy ever after. This next one is Ocean Beyond the Sea by John Foreman. And it's really creepy sounding, but it's actually really beautiful if you listen to the lyrics and realize what it's about. This is much slower than the other song, extremely slow, and much easier to sing, but I don't know the lyrics yet, so I'm just gonna mess around with it a little bit. There's a highway beyond the road, beyond where power timer. The onward power, feel the beat from the tambourine. Yeah. You can dance, you can jive, having the time of your life. Ooh, see that girl, watch that scene, dig it, dancing queen. I gotta listen to this. This is a fun song, but okay. Dancing Queen. Okay, I have to find out what lyrics we're actually singing for this because I am 100% sure that my child's school is not going to have us sing something about turning them on and then leaving them burn, get them burning, and then you're gone. So I'm gonna have to do some communication. I was not at the last rehearsal because it was Andy's birthday, so I skipped it and they introduced a new song. So I have to find out what I'm supposed to be singing in that song. Just chorus parts, but I need to know what I'm singing. Lyrics, is there anything else I need to practice for gala? I don't think so. I'm also doing the Peppa, what is their last name in Encanto? Do they have a last name? We're getting ready and there wasn't a cloud in the sky. Now I'm gonna work on some worship stuff for church. I gotta start working on what parts of what songs for the Christmas Advent we're gonna do. I'm gonna do a medley of, for the kids chorus, I'm gonna do a medley of Away in a Manger and Silent Night. The stars in the sky. Okay, so I think we're gonna go with the medley of Away in a Manger and O Little Town of Bethlehem because Silent Night doesn't work for the key. How silently the wondrous gift is given. Where's the bat in the key of D? I have to listen for my bread. Oh shoot, that is my bread. Okay. In the dark street shine, but maybe not so complicated. Let's see. Ugh, that's weird too. So God imparts to human hearts. Okay, I figured out which songs they will be, what keys they will be in, and I've got a page started so Mary can work on this with the kids. I just have to record it so they can have something to work with. Okay.
When I went back to it, I ended up switching the second song again to O Come All Ye Faithful. I think that will have a much better flow and it's a more familiar song with the kids. So I have finished that recording, sent it off to Mary, and now the kids can practice every Sunday at church and at home because I put it on YouTube, just privately, not for you guys.
A very rushed bread.
I remember when I came down to get this bread, I was in such a rush the whole time because I made the bread a little bit later than I wanted to. I had to take it out of the oven really quick before I went to pick up the kids in the afternoon, and so I noticed that the bread wasn't quite as fluffy as it should be, so I wasn't sure if it was because I did not give it quite enough rise time as I normally would, or because I completely forgot to put my Vital Wheat gluten in there. Either way, it turned out amazing, so no big deal. And here I am, jumping in the car with Camden, trying to make it to pick up the kids from school in time. So I'm going to end this video right here and now while I am under 20 minutes. This is segment 3, I believe, and I guess we'll have segment 4 and possibly 5. So stay tuned. If you like it, give me a like and a comment, and please subscribe. I really appreciate you guys watching.